The perspective of outsiders who come to a country is always kind of illuminating because you get a window into your own society that is being offered by someone who is encountering it with the background of a different society, and also with seeing things in a way clearly with fresh eyes. Now, we have a history in America, for example, going back to Tocqueville, of the outsider, in that case, the Frenchman, who made trenchant observations about America in his book, Democracy in America. We're in a different era now, the age of social media, and I've come across a social media account of a young Chinese woman. She looks to be, at least from the picture, probably in her early 20s, and she's encountering the West by moving here for the first time. And she came with sort of bright-eyed and full of promise, a sort of idea of expecting one kind of America, one kind of West, and she's encountered another. And so I'm just going to read you a few of her posts because I think that they're amusing, but they're also in some ways very telling and very eye-opening about the way in which I think many people around the world who are peering into the West and into America are now responding to American culture. So here's a post. This actually goes back to last year. The woman's name is Wei, W-E-I, Wu. Now, I showed this to Debbie, and Debbie goes, "Are you sure, Dinesh, this is not a parody account?" And I scroll down the account because there's distinctive kind of insignia of a parody account. And there are parody accounts, normally fairly easy to detect. First of all, they use very strange names, which if you keep reciting them, you can realize where the parody comes from. I don't think it's a parody account, but I'm not entirely positive. In fact, for what I'm about to say, it doesn't really matter. So here's Wei Wu. She goes, "Going to Detroit tomorrow, see friend. Very excite. First time travel to Detroit." So part of it is you have someone speaking in broken English, and this is part of what makes this even funnier. Then she evidently arrives in Detroit. "I arrive in Detroit now. I will never come to Detroit again. Detroit is America's butthole. Very disgusting place." Hard to disagree for anyone who actually has been to Detroit. And then there's a background to all this, and this is, I think, what makes this interesting. "I leave China because too corrupt. No free speech. Everyone afraid. Now West slowly be like China. Free speech, no, not respect. People afraid." And then she goes, "I'm not quiet. I speak up. I value free speech." And this again is pointing to the fact that there is a blurring now of the distinction between free and unfree societies, a distinction that I took for granted when I, for example, came to the United States in the late 1970s, where I've come to the free world. I'm now part of the free world, and of course the socialist world, the Soviet world, is the unfree world. But now you have to, you can't say that except in a highly qualified sense. Wei Wu obviously has some exposure to Canada. "I now work intern job in Toronto, almost 4 days now. All company Indian and Chinese. My English speaking skill decrease. Now I speak English with Indian sound. Nobody understand." And then in a little more, I think, profound and interesting vein, "In Toronto downtown, everyone walk head down. Everyone eyes all dead. Everyone depressed. This is a very sad city. Everyone's sad because everyone knows something wrong. No one know what is wrong, but something wrong." Now, this actually I found observationally to be also true. By the way, when I made Death of a Nation and was in Prague, the people in Prague, remember, this is now decades after the fall of communism, still have this kind of hangdog, defeated look, almost as if 70 years or at least 40 years of communism post-World War II has broken the national spirit of Prague. And now you see this also in American cities for the first time. The kind of optimistic Reaganite, upbeat mood is gone, and people just seem a little bit downcast. And downcast in not just the sense of a mood, but in the sense of a kind of enduring temperament. And then she goes, "I walked downtown last night," and this is very harsh, but I'm going to read it anyway. "All women sluts. Never be mothers. If be mother, child is pervert. Slut and pervert is great danger. West want to survive. Ban slut and pervert." This is Wu Wei talking. And elsewhere, she basically says that sluts and perverts need to be sent to the moon. Send sluts and perverts to the moon. Then she's working at a tech company. Today, work plan special training day, sensitivity and diversity class. I do not go. I'm very sensitive and diverse. No need for training. And then she goes, I'm doing final exams, all day study. In library, many girls wear clothes show too much skin. Why come to library? If you want to be hooker, don't come to library. Every guy distracted. I'm never distracted. I'm focused on goal. Build rocket. Send perverts to the moon. Intern job very stupid. I come to learn engineering. Now company teach oppression and sensitive training. I came for practical math work. Why teach me sensitive to many genders? Why teach girl oppressed by boys? Why teach penis and vagina? Why teach me to be pervert? I know many girls, this is the last one, they tell me they are sad. They cannot find good man. They don't know why. I know answer. They drink beer. They smoke drugs. They party all time. They sleep with so many men. Of course you can't find good man. You live like cheap prostitute. Now look, take this with a grain of salt. But you're getting, I think here, admittedly here in stark form, a broader perspective that I think is pretty widely shared. It's certainly intensely believed across the Islamic world, but also in traditional cultures in Asia and Africa. They look at the West, a West which once seemed so bright and shiny and full of promise, a West that represented upward mobility and opportunity, but also living a prosperous life in a decent and orderly society. They're seeing what has happened, the unraveling of American culture, and as you can learn from Wu Wei, they don't like it.